going to do a system design interview with a kind of front-end focus. And the task for this interview would be to design YouTube. So let's first start with our basically YouTube is a website that allows you to create videos and upload videos for users, and then for other users to search for those videos to basically watch obviously the videos, and then to be able to comment on the threads, and as well as give add the likes to the video or dislikes as well. Um, yeah, so today we are going to, well, obviously YouTube is a huge system and we will not have enough time to go through every of the YouTube's feature that, well, is possible. So overall, what we would like to do is to narrow down our YouTube system design to a few things. And we are going to start first with functional requirements that we are going to have for our, well, YouTube clone, right? So for the functional requirements, what we want to have is following things, right? First, we're also not going to concentrate on the uploading. Well, actually, we can, as we can also do the upload video. So let's first do following things. Users can upload videos. Second, obviously, users can search for videos. Obviously, every video has a title and some additional metadata to search for, but we are going for the simplicity of the problem. We are just going to search by the title. Well, search for videos. Users can see well, the results, the search results, and then users can open a specific video and watch it, surprisingly. And well, I guess what additional functionality we can add here is ability to put likes or dislikes to the video. Well, yeah, user should be able to also comment the video, but I'm not sure we'll have time for that. So let's first start with these things, and after that, maybe we can, if we'll have more time, we can talk more about what like adding the command functionality. So let's talk about the non-functional requirements that we might have. So, well, there are a few of those. So non-functional requirements. Well, uh, obviously we need our YouTube clone site to be fast. We want it to have good user experience. Also, we want to make sure it works on the wide range of devices. But with mobile first in mind. It's going to be still we are talking here about the web application. So we are not talking about the native application. Additional things is we should probably mention that we should be able uh, the website should be localized, and yes, user behavior or stats are gathered. Basically, we want to make sure that we are aware what's going on with our website and how it works and how users interact with it. So these are our non-functional requirements. Now I guess we can go to the high-level architecture of our solution. So uh, well, looking at our functional requirements, well, we are going to have several things. We are going to have like 3 pages in the end. One page is going to be for uploading videos, another one for well searching videos, and another one would be like actually the viewing videos. So let's briefly touch of some of those. So let's start with the upload. Well, the upload basically. Upload page should be pretty simple in our scenario. So let's call this. Let me change the color. So upload video page. It's going to be a pretty simple page. For now, what we're going to have is basically a page where user will be actually the input file or drop zone to upload his files. And for the simplicity, we are going to say that we will be able to upload only one file at a time. And yeah, basically then for sure we will need a button that will say upload, right? Sorry, upload button. Now what else will we need? Well, we will also need an ability to specify the metadata of the page. So again, this will be just the uh, input for our title. It's going to be the title. Yeah, and to some extent, that would be the whole upload video page. Obviously, it's very stripped down version, but still. Another page that we are going to talk about would be the search page. Here we are going to have, this is going to be a bigger page. First of all, this is going to be, for sure we will need to have a field for upload for searching, and it's going to have some sort of uh, placeholder. And yeah, basically it's going to also, and we need a big button to search. Well, obviously, uh, yes, of course, it's also going to support keyboard navigation and things like that. But we are going to talk about that a bit later, right? So this is going to be search. Now, what we are going to do, how we are going to present the results. So every result we are going to have basically a grid here with the uh, thumbnails of each video. So bunch of thumbnails here when we search for something. Uh, let's for simplicity, let's assume that when we don't well, we didn't search for anything. We either get some random, we don't get anything. Again, for simplicity, in real case scenario, you would be showing something like the most relevant systems, like using some recommendation based on the past viewing experience. Cool video. And we are also going to show like probably here, this is going to be the title. We are also probably going to show the um, length of this video here on the thumbnail. Uh, Obviously, we probably will also need to show the number of likes and dislikes of this video. So somewhere here, like 20 likes, 30 dislikes. Not so cool video if it has more dislikes than likes. All right. So now, well, that's going to be the search results of this video. Once we can think. So for now, we assume that this is going to be just a thumbnail here for the video, but we can also assume that, well, in future we might want kind of replace this with a short preview or animated GIF. Well, for now, let's assume this is going to be just uh, just a search, just a thumbnail. Uh, what else do we need here? Obviously, whenever we click on the thumbnail or on the title, we go to the view page where we are going to have our player. So for that, um, yeah, let's just add another page here where we are going to show our view experience. All right, so here, here we are going to have another page. This page is going to have obviously the player, video player. We are going to have some toolbar here as well for the video player. So to play basically the button, play button. That's for simplicity. So there is a play button. Also, there is a possibility to check some settings. I'm not very good at drawing. Yeah, we can talk about the player itself a bit later. So what else? Well, the play button. We are going to also show the progress bar here and the time that is left, like be something like where you currently like 50 or something like that. That's basically, we are not going to start the autoplay, so by default when you load the video page, it's going to show you the only the well, the picture. It's not going to autoplay. This is just not to distract our users. So here we are going to have a title, cool button, right? And yeah, here we are going to have like and dislike links, so people actually can like and dislike, and we can also have, well, some section with comments here, for example. So for simplicity, let's say we are not going to uh, yeah, to have like a complex tree structure, it would be just a flat structure, but we can think about making it more complex later. And here probably will be the date, like July 20, and the username as well. Uh, so this is basically going to be our design, and now let's talk about the like data entities that we are going to work here with. So basically, yeah, we have many things to work with here. So let's talk about that. Well, first of all, we are going to start with the video result. Let me change the font. Obviously, we need to. So let's call this data. Already have violet. Let be yellow. Data data entities. So what are we going to work with here? There's going to be a few things. So first of all, let's start with our video, right? So this is like the main idea. So I'm going to use TypeScript notation for that. So we're going to have a video type, which obviously will have following properties. Well, first of all, it's definitely going to have an ID. It's going to be probably some sort of string in the end. It's not going to be just a sequential ID. But for simplicity, we can say it's number. Okay, that's fine. Second one, we are going to, obviously, a video can have a title. Title going to be a string, and we are going to have length, which is going to be probably a number in seconds, which we basically then will render in minutes depending on how we want to show, maybe in seconds, I don't know. What else do we want here? Well, we need a thumbnail URL. That's going to be basically a URL for our thumbnail URL for our video. What else? We need to have the number of likes and dislikes. And for now, we are going to have this as a like a flattened down. We are not going to display who else liked or not this video. But so this is going to be number, dislikes as well would be number. But well, besides that, we also need to track who has if the current user has liked or disliked the current video. So let's call it like that. It's going to be a status for current user. And it's going to be something like liked or disliked. That's going to be, and it's optional. So if it's this field is not there, that basically means that user has not either liked or disliked this video. Also, this approach would allow us to use kind of an optimistic web UI to update the counter of likes and dislikes without actually having to do any to wait for the response from server where we actually click like or dislike button. Anyways, well, what else do we need? For video, we will probably need some additional information like uploaded by, and this is going to be referencing a user which has uploaded this video. And of course, well, what else do we need? We need to have the quality. So obviously we want to make sure that our users can either manually select the quality that they want to view their video, maybe because they want to kind of save on the bandwidth, or maybe because they want to because well, for any of the reasons. Or we also would like to also make sure that this video is that there is a adaptive video, adaptive resolution and adaptive bitrate used for this video. So for that, we are going to have like quality it's going to be an array of quality um, objects maybe, or this is going to be just enums. We can talk about that later. Uh, what else? Yes, quality. I guess we also need to make sure that our video has subtitles, so we will need some subtitle information. And obviously we are going to have comments, but the comments that we will be using are going to be loaded dynamically, though they of course are associated with our video. So now let's talk about some of the entities that were mentioned here, but yeah, don't are not yet described. So what else do we have, right? So we'll need to have a quality thing, which can be just an enum uh, thing, something like 360p, 480p, that's a 1080p by 60, 4K, for example. This will allow us to select, uh, oh, and of course the most important one is the stream URL. So this is basically going to be the URL of the video stream that we are going to connect to and to be able to watch the video. Well, in requested quality. Then what else do we need? So we will need type comment. So for the comment type, obviously we will need to have the user who left this comment. Well, we are going to have the text, which is going to be a string, and timestamp, which is going to be, yeah, well, date object. Yeah, well, actually, we also need to have a timestamp here for the video itself because we want to know when the video was uploaded, right? It's going to be date. Well, what else? What else do we need? We also will need okay, for the command, we also will need our subtitles, which is going to be our basically subtitles. So for subtitles, we will need to have the language, which is going to be obviously some sort of enum, which is I'm not going to mention here, but it's going to be like whatever, and it's going to be some sort of URL. I'm not really sure how the subtitles are associated with the video, but I think it's yes, some sort of URL to the file. And well, yeah, I guess we need to make sure that it's associated with the video properly, so it actually also has a reference to video. And obviously it has the ID, some sort of maybe string or unique identifier. Same basically goes for, yeah, well, actually we don't really need to do like that. And for user, we obviously also need some sort of ID here as well. What else? And the last one is of course our user. And for user, we are going to have a very stripped down information. Here it's going to be also ID, and we are going just to have a name, probably a string, and some sort of avatar or something So it's going to be avatar URL. It's going to be a string to the avatar. So this is our data structure to hold all the information about our video. Now let's talk about the APIs that we are going to be we require to render all of these pages. So let's start it here. I'm going to change the color again, and that's going to be APIs. As for API, we will need. Oh, this is not the best color. Let's maybe this one. API. Um, so we are going to need some sort of API from our kind of backend for frontend uh, web service to be able to display all of these pages as well as interact with those. So what we can there are multiple approaches here. What type of API could we do here? I think the most common in modern world are two types of API. It could be RESTful API and it could be GraphQL API. Well, to some extent, because all of this is highly interconnected, all these things. So, for example, you can actually have a user that has a lot of videos, and then it links to the comments by other users. So it's basically a huge graph out there, which is easy to basically represent with GraphQL. However, it's also fine to use REST here because, well, to some extent, you don't really need to know which videos have the commenting user has uploaded. So yeah, for now, let's stick with just a REST thing. So we are going to have following APIs here. First, we will need to upload a video. So post API video. This is going to be our video API. Obviously, we are going to, so this will be content type multipart form data. It's going to actually get the video itself as a file. And it's going to get also the title, which is going to be just a string. Well, we are also going to send some additional things there, which is going to be probably a user cookie. Or GWT token. This is for authentication. And yeah, that would be mostly it for uploading video. Of course, only users who can upload users who are logged in only can upload, right? So besides that, so what is going to return, as we know that uploading the video is not instantaneous, it's not available right away on the YouTube website. So we will need to actually wait till the video is processed and uploaded. So for that, we will need to give our users some sort of visual feedback. And for that, actually, what we can do on UI, we can show a loading spinner here. Once we have actually uploaded the video, but it's still being processed, or have some sort of change the status of this upload button to loading. So for example, we can just like loading. Yes. So how we can give that feedback? Obviously, once we post, here is we return a response which will say something like uh, which will say, okay, the status is processing, and there's going to be an ID of the video. So this is going to be some number. Now we can also make sure that we can uh, check the status of this video upload instance by just uh, polling for the status of this video. So we can do something like this: get API video status, for example, where we video, then we send here the ID here status, which will going to return of if the video is status. So we can do this just like by polling our again, it also gets the user cookie, obviously, or JVT token for authentication. Also, internally, it will check that well, the user that is checking has the status of the video has actually right to do so because he's the author, right? So this will allow us to get the status of the video and notify user once when it is uploaded. This is more like of a synchronous flow, assuming that user is stays on the page, but we can think about more complex scenario when the user is went to another page and or does or uploads another video, but we can still notify him about the status of his previous upload. Yeah, that can be again done by the polling or maybe by introducing like some server sent events and listening, creating connection to the backend and listening for these types of events and showing some sort of uh, toast, for example, on one of the on the current page, like for example. Yeah, for example, if user is doing something else, we can show them the toast here saying, yeah, uh, your video was uploaded. Hooray! Uh, yeah, and link to that video. So that's something if you don't want to have the synchronous flow. Obviously, now we need to have some another APIs to power our search page, right? That's going to be also a get search. We are going to have API search, and it's going to have one query parameter, which is going to be the text. It's going to be BCD. Yeah, this API is going to basically, and for this one, it can work with both logged in users and not logged in users. So it's like it's not really required for users to be able to, in order to watch the video, it's not required for them to be authenticated. So what this basically search results is going to return, that's actually something that we haven't mentioned here, is probably this, we need to modify our types here, is because we also have here search results type, right? Search results, which is going to be have following things. First of all, it's going to have the search term, right? The term. This is what we looking for. This is useful to actually display that later and also make sure that we are properly associating request and response in case if user is doing multiple requests. So we're going to have the term, and we also are going to have the video. Uh, videos. Well, videos. There's going to be an array of our videos results, and besides that, we are also going to have pagination, right? So we will need to, on the search results, we can have more than one result, so we can have the pagination, and the pagination we can have two parameters. It's basically offset. This will be the start, and page size would be also number. So yeah, this will actually be used for our pagination API later. So let me first add the pagination here to our search results, right? So we are going to have like some sort of here for with multiple pages, like 1, 2, 3, whatever. Be 220. And actually, yeah, we actually need also to, in our search results tab, to show how many search results did we get. So this is the results for the current offset and page size limit, but it's also important that, well, it's not really, at least for now, it's not really infinite scroll, which we can actually make it work. API won't change, but anyways, we will need to know what would be the total size. This is going to be also a number, right? So what else we can do here? Yeah, so let's talk. So we talked about this get API to get the search results. Um, what else? Yeah, we need, of course, for this to set the limit. Yeah, limit or page size. Let's call it like that. Page size 20, and offset would be, for example, 0 if we want to get the first result. So this is going to show us the overall results, and of course we will need to have some API to watch the video. So for the video watching, well, we will need to have an API that returns an information about the particular video. You might argue, well, there are multiple approaches here, right? We will need to have API video and then ID, which will return basically the video for us, information about the video. Now let's talk about how all this works together and what is the workflow, right? As we talked about before, uploading the video is kind of a separate workflow. It's not require, it doesn't require. Yeah, basically, it's not really interconnected with searching video or something. But yeah, let's talk about the search, right? So we search for the keyword. We obviously get a loading status while we on some sort of loading indicator here while we are searching. Then it's being replaced with thumbnails of the videos, and when we basically after having the thumbnails, yeah, user can basically see the title and also see the pagination, how many videos are there matching the search term, and then they can click on a particular video, go to the individual page and basically watch the video. So how does the video watching works? We have the stream URL and we have the the quality. So as far as I know, in such systems right now, we are basically streaming the video from some remote source. We are not basically like, it's not a link to like MP4 file that can be just basically downloaded. This is not how it works. So the idea here is that, yeah, it's a URL to some server that produces a stream, which basically a stream is basically a chunks of a video, like several seconds. There are different formats of this streaming technology. It's one is HLS, another one is PEG Dash. I think HOS is the most common one. Why streaming? Why streaming is important, and why it's not just like a plain MP4 file. Um, well, there are multiple reasons for that. First of all, streaming allows you to dynamically change the quality of the video. So imagine you start with 360, and that allows you basically to start playing video right away. But if person's if users bandwidth allows them to view 4K, that could be like the video quality could be increased dynamically. So the next chunk, for example, after the initial one in 360 will be downloaded 480, then the next one would be 180p, and like the next one would be 4K. So this is progressive. Again, if internet connection drops significantly in speed, it's also possible to start from to drop the quality of the video without stopping the video itself. Uh, yeah, obviously all of this is being achieved using the specific video APIs available in browser. Also, as far as I know, if you need to stream some DRM content, basically protected by some copyrighted and protected content, there is special media extensions available in the browsers that could play such type of content. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I never worked with that specifically, but I know, yeah, that these things exist. Obviously, we want to give, when you insert a video into the web page using the video element, like in just some sources, you of course can have some default controls here, right? But usually they look ugly. There's like browser. There are two options what you can do here. You can try to style them, but not everything is capable of styling there. Like you don't have access to all of the elements, or not all of the elements can be styled. Another option is to actually, the video API provides you a lot of events and a lot of methods to work with the video. So basically you can create your own UX for this toolbar, right? And yeah, then we can make our own completely custom UI, whatever we want to basically be able to play the video. Also, it's like, yeah, we should definitely give the feedback to the user about where they are currently in the video, and also to be able to switch back and forth between the, yeah, just scroll, I think it's called scroll, right? Move back and forth in the video. So, yeah, this is more like in general how this is going to work in terms of APIs and things. But let's now talk. I think we are mostly covered with functional requirements, right? Oh, we didn't do the like and dislike actually, and leave the comments. So yeah, actually, some good things here that we can add. Well, first of all is to like and dislike video, right? So we will need to have an API for that. Um, so what we need in terms of API, right? We can have, that's going to be post, of course. API video, it's going to be ID, and it's going to be like. We're going to have the same for dislike. Obviously, this is yeah. So this requires to be user to be authorized first of all, and second part, it's going to be to have a bit more logic, right? So if you first have disliked videos and you post like, you need to make sure you're reflecting that on UI. So this is coordinating these things might be a bit tricky. And what else we need? We will need to have a ability to post a comment. So we will have again ID comment. This will allow us to post a comment. Again, requires user authentication. And we also want to get all the comments. So why we need to get all the comments here is because yeah, we are not going probably we are going to load the comments asynchronously. It's not really required uh, to get the all pages uh, to load all the comments right away when you preview the page. So this thing can be loaded pretty asynchronous. So that's why we don't really need to return the list of comments together with the video itself. Yeah, I guess that would cover our API requirements for commenting stuff, right? So now let's talk about more a bit about the non-functional requirements and basically how we can our website to work fast and yeah, have a good UX and working on a range of devices. So I would call this section as optimization. So there are a few things we can talk about the optimization here. So first of all, we will need to talk about, for instance, is SSR. Well, yeah. Let's first talk about just like most obvious things. We are going to serve our website HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all the statics compressed. So this is going to be either zip or broadly compression. We are also going to use HTTP2 for multiplexing. So this way we can download many things asynchronously. Many things in the same time. We also can use the server push, for example, to push some additional static assets right away from server without actually having to request them. What other things? Well, to basically, we need to use a proper caching policy. Uh, so we should serve our static things like CSS, HTML with proper pragma, content cache control, and etag headers. Well, obviously, JavaScript and CSS should be minified. Um, we also will need to have bundle splitting, so several separate vendors bundle that is like it doesn't refresh so often. So if users visit the website often, that's basically they have this cached bundle pay page. Of course, yeah. What else? We basically will need also to make sure that also async JavaScript import. So we import things asynchronously. So we are going to have like some parts, for example, for just displaying some functionality. Separate polyfills bundle. So we make sure that the people who are on the modern browsers don't really need to download the polyfills for older browsers. Yeah, then of course we will need to serve statics from CDN, so from Content Delivery Network. Well, obviously, image optimization for thumbnails. thumbnails. Basically, so if thumbnail is created from the video, it can be a big size. Kind of know, for example, video is 4K. Obviously, if you do a screenshot from this video, it's going to be also like a huge image. You don't really need that for thumbnail. So small size, optimized format. If, for example, we can, well, if browser supports WebP, we can serve it in WebP. Otherwise, it can be JPEG with some compression level. Obviously, again, for the video, video also through CDN that supports streaming and in different qualities, in different resolutions and bit rates. Again, again, we need to make sure that we can serve different types of users and what they do with that. And this is more like about the organization of all that stuff. And of course, yeah, now it's about the code itself, kind of what we can do with the code. So first of all, we can yeah, do server-side rendering for some of the pages, like for example, for the video page, for the video page, it could be like lightly server-side rendered, as it's important for SEO reasons, and then additional functionality is loaded asynchronously. So yeah, loading things asynchronously. Um, Stuff asynchronously. Basically, well, imagine you need to, yeah, comments can be added, comments, search results, things like that. Well, what else can we talk about here? Yeah, proper CSS rules without nesting, without much nesting. So we make sure that we don't really serve things. Then the scripts itself, scripts with async attribute, so we don't block, to not block browser. Yeah. Um, that's kind of all the optimizations that we can do here. We can, of course, also cache things on the client side. We can use IndexedDB local storage on client side. We can use, for example, yeah, as I said, local storage. Not all things can be cached. For example, like, yeah, but some metadata about the video can be cached. For example, local storage, IndexedDB, um, service worker to basically cache the response. Also, we can basically cache the whole application, the JavaScript and CSS using application cache. Again, if we want to, maybe we want to make our app to be a PWA. So this will be also something that is that might be required here. So we talked about how we can make our fast website fast. Well, of course, how we also will need to have some sort of analytics of our website. So a few things I would love to mention here. It's probably a few things, right? What sort of analytics do we want here? First of all, we will now track up status, like JavaScript errors, for example. So we will need to make sure that we are reporting that from the client side into some monitoring system, and then basically developers can react to that and fix the issues. And we also need to track user behavior. Of course, it should be in an anonymized way, but we should be able to know how users are interacting with our app, how they are using it, how they are, yeah, basically see where they click, where they don't click. Also, it's important part here is like A/B experiments. So we need to make sure that we have an ability to set up A/B experiments for our application. Yeah, well, we can stats are gathered, of course, and yeah, what else do we want to hear? Of course, and our application needs to be localized. It's really important to mention that whenever we build a website, no, yeah, it's going to be like accessibility, yeah, accessibility category here. So let me make some new category, uh, accessibility. Accessibility. Basically, we need to make sure that our website accessible, and from accessible, what I mean is actually it's available in user's language. Well, if possible, right? So we are building a global product that should be available by people all over the world. So at least we should support some sort of localization, and this localization includes uh, with internationalized values. So values for dates numbers, etc. Right? So some people are used to one format of the date, some another. So like the same applies for the format of the numbers. This is really important to have a proper understanding of people using that. For example, for me, it's like usually the American style of months is a bit weird, and it's really usually yeah, it's important that I see the format of the date that I understand, right? So now we need to make sure that this is available for screen readers, that screen readers can interpret, let's call it like that, the website. Obviously, this includes the proper area attributes, and things like that, like announcing the live content with area live, or yeah, all of the things, and make sure that thumbnails have labels and things like that. Well, what else we can have here? Obviously, we need to have a keyboard navigation. This is really useful for not only for disabled users, for any users, like power keyboard users. So this is a really good feature. Again, for people with impaired um, like sight, probably should have a proper contrast schemas, or in general maybe theming, something like that. Yeah, I guess that would be all what I wanted to cover. It took me almost an hour. That's a lot of stuff. I'm not really sure how much of the front end oriented that was. I would say it was kind of full stackish with a bit of emphasis on the how backend is going to work. Well, but still, I think it's a good example. Yeah, I think I did good. Thanks for watching.